Hi everyone, welcome back to Easy Education London. Now, is this the official GCSE English 2024 paper? Watch until the end and find out how you can prepare to the best of your ability for your upcoming exams. Now, what I would like to do in this video is go over my predictions for the paper and also give you an insight of how you can do really well in this exam, including a cheat sheet and also a hack which you can use for your English paper, language paper 1. Now, before we get started, don't forget to press the subscribe button, like and share the video, as it does help our channel grow. And I would like to thank you all for your continuous support. The feedback has been amazing and I do highly appreciate it. We are going to go on YouTube live for English language paper 1 and paper 2. So if you are interested, do let us know in the comment section below. Now, English language paper 1, as you all know, is taking place next week, okay, on Thursday, the 23rd of May, 2024. Now, the exam is 1 hour 45, as you can see. And if I just scroll down, the exam paper is out of 80 marks. So for section A, it is out of 40. And for section B as well, same thing. It is also out of 40. So in total, it's out of 80 marks. And in section A, you have 4 questions to answer. Okay, and section B, you have 1 question to answer, which is your creative writing. So what I did want to focus on today is the creative writing aspect of the English language exam, and also to provide you with a hack and a cheat sheet that you can use for your exam. And it's something that I've taught to my own students for them to achieve grade 8s and grade 9s in their English exams. So let's have a look at it in further detail. So the first question will read something like this. Read again the first part of the source from lines 1 to 4. List 4 things about something. Now that could be about the setting, the character, or an object from this part of the source. And it's from specific lines. So here it'd be lines 1 to 4. And it's worth 4 marks. So all you have to do is you need to list it. Okay, so they've numbered it for you. So you do not have to analyze any quotes. You do not need to write 2 or 3 sentences for each point. You can write simple sentences for each individual number. So 4 marks, you should all be achieving 4 out of 4. Okay, so don't overcomplicate this first question. You'll be surprised the number of students who actually lose easy marks. And sometimes one thing you need to remember as well, I'll write it here, is you need to look at the explicit, but also at the same time the implicit. So the obvious and the not so obvious, because that will help you have a better understanding of what they are asking. And sometimes they do try to, test your inference skills. So make sure you read between the lines, as that's super important. Moving over to question number 2. Now, question 2 will read, it will be exactly the same. The only difference is the part that I've covered out, okay? So I'll just show you an example here. So how does the writer use language here to describe the ... Okay, so here it could be, for example, the house, the train, the weather. So it depends on the text. And they will guarantee provide you with this part here, or the bullet points. You could include the writer's choice of words and phrases, language features and techniques, and sentence forms, and it's worth 8 marks. So there are certain techniques that you'll find, and there are certain things that you can always comment on. And remember, the bullet points are there to help you and guide you. So use that to your advantage, because they want you to use it and it allows you to achieve the top marks. So how many paragraphs are you writing? You're looking to write 2 to 3 petal paragraphs, okay? If you want to write more, then that's fine. And ideally, the more points you make, the more marks you are likely to get. So what are some language features, or what are some language devices that you may find and are almost guaranteed, okay? Well, are guaranteed to be found in the exam, okay? So I always tell my students, there are certain things that you'll always talk about in your answer. So that includes, if I write here, if I just scroll down, so that includes your adjectives. You will definitely find within the text. Okay, you will find verbs. You will find adverbs, 100%. These are guaranteed. So your paragraphs can be you could use this as a starting point. That could be in your first paragraph. Alongside that, what are other things that you may find in your paper? Every year you'll find these techniques as well. Okay, so simile. You will find metaphor, okay, sibilance, personification, etc. So the list goes on and on, but these are like common reoccurring devices that you'll find in papers. So you can use this to help you analyze language. You may find hyperbole, zoomorphism, okay, pathetic fallacy. That's a common one as well. If you've gone through the past papers for AQA, you'd realize they do like to use extract that use pathetic fallacy. Alliteration. You will find alliteration for sure. Um, declarative or a declarative sentence, and also imagery. Okay, so these are some devices that you will definitely find within your text. So make sure you focus on the effect of language for this question, because that's how you'll achieve the top marks. How I get this question a lot, sir, how do I achieve the highest marks? Focus on the effect of language. What is the effect? Because that's how you'll get the highest possible marks. Okay, so that's question number 2. Now, question number 3, let's have a look at it in further detail. Now, question number 3 for 2024, the following question will be guaranteed to be the exact same. So let's have a look at it. So here we have question number 3. So it's always, you need to think about the whole of the source. How has the writer structured the text to interest you as a reader? You could write about what the writer focuses your attention on at the beginning of the source, how and why the writer changes its focus as the source develops, and any other structural features that interest you. So it's 8 marks. Again, you're looking to write 3 paragraphs, okay? Focusing on the beginning, middle, and end. Remember, because it's the whole source, then you need to make sure you cover it in thorough detail, okay? So if we are looking at structure, remember, you can talk about shifts in focus. You can talk about cyclical structure. You can also talk about dialogue, because these are all to do with structure. Okay, so these are some things that you can talk about. And remember, importantly, always link it back to the question of how it, let me use yellow, how does it interest you as a reader? Tell us how the structural device is used to interest a reader. So you're looking at 3 paragraphs for this question. Question 4. Now, question 4 will be from specific lines. So they will give you specific lines, so for example, lines 24 to the end, and they'll provide you with a student statement, and they'll ask you to evaluate. And it will always be, to what extent do you agree? Okay, so when they ask this, you need to think to yourself, so you'll need to ask yourself, do I agree with it? And if so, to what extent? Do I agree with that partially? Do I agree with it entirely? And you need to show evidence. Look at how the writer does this, through language, through structure. And do not disagree with the statement, because you'll only make it difficult for yourself. So that's question 4. You need to make sure you spend some time. It is 20 marks, which is a lot of marks. So you're looking to write 4 to 5 paragraphs. And tell us how effective the statement is, or how accurate the statement is. So you have to focus on evaluation and not analyzing. So evaluation here is telling us how well the writer has done something. It's as if you're acting like a book critic. You're reviewing the statement, telling the pros, the cons, the accuracy, and also considering other alternative viewpoints as well, and backing it up with evidence as well. So that's question number 4. Do not underestimate this question. 20 marks is a quarter of the paper, and it's 25% of English language paper 1. So you need to really spend some time preparing for this question. The last and final question is, write a story about an event that cannot be explained. So here you are basically writing a story, and in other words, a narrative, and it's worth 40 marks. So if you have watched until the end, you may ask, hang on, what is the cheat sheet I was referring to? So let me show you, and you can use this when preparing for your exams. So here we have a range of negative weather paragraphs for you to memorize. These are generic, and all you do in the exam is you tweak it and you use it to answer the question you're provided with in the exam. So these are grade 8, grade 9 descriptions, and you can always use this based on the question you are provided for your exam. So that's for negative weather. What you can do is take a screenshot and memorize it, and trial and test it with different past paper questions, and you can use that in preparation for your exams. So that's the negative weather. And the positive weather paragraphs is the following. So please take a screenshot. You can use this and adjust it and tweak it for your English exams. And remember, you may be able to actually use both the positive and negative paragraphs, and use it in the form of juxtaposition, and that may be able to encourage the examiner to give you higher marks. So something that I teach my students is to pre-plan and to pre-write your story, so that all you do in the exam, you just write from memory. If you haven't started, you've got 1 week or less than 1 week, which is enough time. If you practice 3 or 4 past papers and constantly write it out, you should be ready to go for your English exams. And that is really the secret to how you achieve a grade 8, grade 9 for your creative writing. So I hope this has made sense. And if you have watched until the end, you may have wondered what is the actual question that may come up. Now, is this something that may come up? Let's have a look. So this is something that was shared with myself, so I just wanted to go over this. Is this a predicted question that may come up? And the question reads, an online magazine has asked for contributions for the creative writing section. Either describe a teacher at the end of summer term, as suggested by this picture. Okay, so as you can see the picture. Or write a story with the title The Miracle, in which a group of students all arrive to class on time. No disruption happens and learning takes place, and that's worth 40 marks. So that is the predicted question, okay, that will possibly come up, okay. So what I would say is, if you can prepare and be well prepared for your exams. Now, all jokes aside, this is not the prediction, okay. This is just a joke, okay, and it's not to be taken seriously. And the truth is, you don't know what will be the exact question, but my point is, if we are making a prediction, you need to basically memorize those grade 9 positive and negative paragraphs, and all you do is you tweak it in the exam to answer the question. So that is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more. Thank you.